Before starting the episode, the members of the Kardcast would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family and friends of KHS freshman Angel Gonzalez. Kearny will continue to support each other, stand together, and thrive as a community.
Welcome to the Kardcast.
Talks about everything, like sports, mental health, the art. This podcast is gonna bring a lot,
Listen to the kids, bro!
These 4 years can determine your life.
Those are things that we wanted to bring up and talk about.
I'm so excited!
We're teenagers, we go through literally everything. Like,
There's a lot of pressure. You need to go to college. You gotta think about your life. You have a lot of life choices.
we want to get in touch with everyone. We want everyone to feel that freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Like,
Is this what you want?
This could be a very nice medium to talk through people who are just not comfortable to talk to someone, and just maybe use this. Really hope that everybody who listens to the podcast can benefit the most from it.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I don't know, something amazing.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Kardcast, episode 001. Claps around. I'm your host for today. My name is Mina, little brown boy with dreams.
I am Diana.
Hi, I'm Eliana.
No, wait, let me do my introduction again. Okay, hold on. Start again, please.
You don't say little brown boy.
Okay.
What?
Yo, it's Di.
I'm Eliana.
It's JV.
Yeah.
Okay, so today's episode, as you read from the title, Life After Construction. I don't know if I agree with that title. We're still kind of in construction.
That's true.
We're
Undergoing construction.
We're still under construction. So we're gonna really go throughout this entire thing. There's a lot of history behind Kearny High School and construction. Yeah, so there's been lots and lots of construction and different things that the school has went through. We're gonna talk about that. Different construction stories, the weirdest and the craziest things that have happened to us. And if you don't feel like the school has done anything, hit up on our Twitter or our Instagram. Comment down below if you think the school hasn't done something or there's some little details that really bug you out in the middle of the hallway. So let's start to begin. Let's start to begin. That's right.
Let's start to begin.
What, JJ? Come at me one more time.
Actually, that's going to be a hashtag we post this on Twitter.
Hashtag will it begin.
Very nice.
So, this is the official timeline of construction throughout Kearny High School. The first building was built in 1895. Then, the Kearny High School that we know today was finished in 1927, which is the construction, which is like a square. That's what we have now. In the 1950s, it was renovated to what we know now. In the 1970s, it had another renovation just to kind of update the building, kind of getting some of the new technologies in. In 2000, the first plans were drawn up for the new building, which what we know now, which is the big building with the gymnasium, and the reconstruction and the renovation of the old building. So construction started on a new building around 2003, late of 2003. The new building was finished around 2005. The trailers were put in late 2007 to start the reconstruction and the windows and all of that for the old building. But construction was planned to happen late 2008, fell through.
Are we talking about, and I'm off mic right now, but just as curious, are we talking about the current project that we're dealing with now?
Yes.
It originally was supposed to be started
In late of 2008.
Okay.
So we had a problem with a contractor, something like that. It didn't happen. So since from 2008 to 2014, the school and I think the district was going through something, I think like a lawsuit or something like that. I don't know the full details, wasn't really in records, but there was a whole new thing. New contractor was hired in 2014. New windows were put in 2015.
So people that are here now
Yes.
know this stuff. Like this,
No, yeah.
We've all been here for that. Like it
Yeah.
started with that
So
stage.
everything that was supposed to happen in 2008 happened in 2014.
Wow.
So all the new new windows,
What a setback.
everything in. Yeah, that's kind of why it's really frustrating for us, for the district, for everyone involved. So the new contractor hired and started putting in windows, and then really the trailers finally got to be put into use. Then in early 2016, late 2017, late 2016, that summer of that year, really the new beams, the steel beams, started putting in for the new thing in the courtyard.
Do you guys remember
The
that?
atrium.
Like when we used to look in the courtyard, and, like all that stuff started going up. Like when you look out the windows in the center of the building.
There's like
Yeah.
a hole.
Is it
in the-
atrium or atrium?
Atrium.
Right where the atrium is now.
Atrium. I said atrium. My
My
bad.
Yeah. So late 2016, that's when they were all putting in, and then they started shutting off the hallways systematically to start renovating. And that was also supposed to happen in 2008, but it's happening now. And that's really just like kind of like the summary of,
years later.
you know, the construction history of Kearny High School. And a really weird pattern that I found, that Kearny High School starts construction right before big crises. Like right here, 1927, right before the Great Depression. I'm just saying. And when the big renovation in 1970, right before the oil crisis in 1973. In 2000, right here, where there's a new president coming in. Right after
9/11.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. 2001.
Crazy.
They had all the plans drawn up around 2001.
Kearny's part of the Illuminati.
And the new building was built and finished and finalized in 2005, and everything started coming into play for the old building's construction right before 2008.
Which is when there was financial collapse.
Yep.
You know, like there was went into a recession.
Mina just hacked the government.
I was gonna say, is Kearny a federal government project? Or we just exposing
Oh
ourselves?
my
But
god.
actually, truth be told, 2008, that's probably why things slowed up.
Yeah.
It might have been because of financial
The big
issues,
recession,
which
yeah.
pushed everything back because construction companies had a lot of problems. You know,
Wow.
everyone was struggling at that time. So
Mind blown.
Mind blown, yes.
Yeah.
Feeling himself. He's like,
That's right. That's
Okay,
right.
you're the Mina, right?
I like that he took his time to just Google all this up and connect
That was
everything.
a good summary. That was a
That
good
was
summary.
perfect.
Okay. Lead us, my friend.
Construction stories. Who has anything crazy that happened?
Oh gosh.
Okay, so we started off with a great introduction from Mina in terms of outline. He just whipped again. Just outlining the history of the construction and just taking us through the whole process of how it happened. The first thing I want to touch on, and yeah, Javian ghosted on us, you know, while
Oh,
the
yeah,
history
he's
was
fake.
happening. Yeah, he's fake news. I want us to talk about challenges that the construction, personal challenges and stories, anecdotes, whatever, and then I want to get into things that we like from the construction, because you know, like everyone is always, people love to complain. They love to complain, and we all do.
Haters gonna hate.
We're all guilty of it, right?
That's true.
But there are things that are also positive, and that the school has had a lot of improvements. I'm not gonna say what they are now, but when it's my turn, we'll share. And then yeah, we'll just go through that. So we're gonna make this a round table, starting with Mr. Youssef. He's going to give us a story, give us a challenge, give us a. I know off mic we were talking about, but science class, Mr.
Sackerman.
Talk about it. Let's.
By the way, Mr. Second, if you're watching this, is Diana. I love you.
Love you
You're
too,
one of
Mr.
my best
Sackerman.
science teachers I ever had.
He's not watching. He's listening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so first week of school, we walk in, literally just brand new tables, beautiful, like equipment, everything is beautiful, very nice.
Yeah.
And then like little by little, we start sitting down, we focus on things. Then like, you know, the whole like shock of like, wow, this is all brand new and beautiful.
Right.
You know,
Everyone's hyped.
kinda-
Up. Everyone's hyped.
Yeah, like the whole hype just starts to settle down a little more, and then we start playing with the gas nozzles, and he's like, "You can play with them. It's not like it matters. It's not like there's gas connected or anything." And I was
Nozzle is a very interesting word.
Mr. Watch, you're so weird.
Like, why are you bringing that
I
up?
heard nozzle. Like, just say nozzle.
"I don't know what is it called."
No, just say it is a nozzle, but
Nozzle.
say it. Nozzle.
Oh, it is. It
It's because your voice.
is. Nozzle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Please,
apparently,
Javia.
so apparently the tables like move up and down too, but like nothing's been connected yet. So like that's kind of like
Wait, the tables move up and down?
I know,
Yeah,
right? Like they
crazy.
like
Like
Technology.
standing desk type action?
yeah,
Wow,
and
okay.
then they like lower down for if you have like a wheelchair or whatever.
Nice.
So they're really cool things, and then like, but then there's like no electricity connected, so it can't do anything. So it just
Right.
stays in one
Oh.
position. But like it's these little things, and like I know like Mr. Sackerman put little solo cups on the sensors
Yeah.
at the top, so you can like see like the smart board. So it's kind
Right,
of
because
like
for those anyone that's listening that's been in a new
Outside of
room,
Kearny High
they
School.
know that if anyone outside the school, our lights right now are operating on motion sensors, and there's they can be operated with a switch. There's an app that we haven't just gotten access to yet. So what teachers have done is disabled the motion sensors so that they can do things like project from their projectors or smart boards.
Like the worksheet, like the math worksheet.
Right,
up
exactly.
On
Because a lot of us teach like that, where we use projection.
Yeah. And like, it's like, then sometimes it feels like counterintuitive, where like you have like this $1,000 smart board with a projector, with lights that can't turn off. You know,
you're right about it's that's a great word. It's counterintuitive because you feel like you have all this brand new stuff, you can't even really play with it yet, and you have to come up with like almost like the low budget
alternative,
like the super low budget kind of hood alternative, right?
Gotta get nifty. But like, you know, like the brand new hood. There's a brand new hood, like when you're using chemicals that like have like a really hard reaction, and there's like gases and stuff, and there's more like smoke.
Right.
The hood usually like excretes it out of the building. Usually that doesn't even work, and you know, it's not connected yet. I know that eventually it'll be connected, but you know, we're a month and a half in, and we still can't really start experiments and stuff. And you know, it's kind of a little bit frustrating because, you know, as like person who's been waiting, like I've been like waiting since 6th grade
for this,
you know, because I love science and I love physics and I love chemistry, and I really want to start, you know, seeing things with like instead of just seeing them on a computer and a screen, I really want to see them in like my real life. Like when I always travel to another country, I always see them in a textbook. You know, when I always see Italy, like you see Florence in a textbook. Unless you go there, you can't really experience
with it. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's a science experience. You can't really experience science.
Yeah, like that whole dissection of frogs. That's something I've always wanted to do, and we don't even have that in our school.
Even like when I was in 6th grade,
when
I was in 6th grade, my teacher was like, you know, once you get into freshman year, you're gonna take biology, and then you're gonna dissect a frog. Because I was really excited. I really wanted to like learn about anatomy at that point. I was a really weird kid. I was really interested in anatomy.
You
so
were?
yeah, I know.
Were?
I still am. But okay, wow! Come at my neck one more time, Mr. Watts. Fake news.
We have history. We go back.
I know. So like, I was really excited for things like that, and you know, kind of to see like these things kind of you know slowly go away and not really be there. Kind of takes away from your high school experience. Like these things that you've been waiting for, you know, since you were little. Like, you know, you'd always see these like memes like cosine, sine, and you never understood them when you were like, you know, freshman year. Now it's junior year, and you kind of finally understand what's cosine and sine and tangent.
Well,
you know, it's like these little things that you know. You're waiting for.
It's tough, you know. It's like, and I think that applies to all of us. You know, there's like a lot of things, even from a teacher's perspective, to just kind of highlight. I wasn't gonna say piggyback, but I'm gonna find other words because piggyback's gonna be like one of the hashtags that we roll with.
Back to the start.
I think like you start a year and let's put it this way, everyone came in with expectations. I think
that is very true.
Every student, I think every teacher, I think every building administrator, I'm talking about here in the high school, you know, Miss Richardson, Mr. Miasso, Mr. Abitable, everyone comes in. District, Mina's mouthing, Miss Blood. Yes, you know, our superintendent and Board of Education too, they have expectations about what was expected. It's the first week of September with us all walking back in the building. However, as anyone that's done any kind of construction, and I'm not, listen, I'm not trying to like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm gonna be like, he's gonna speak for the district and he's trying to like make everything like it's okay. No, all the stuff that has sucked, it sucked. I'm not gonna tell you it hasn't, but when you do construction, it is very difficult, and and you know from laying out the history, nothing happens in the timeline that you think it's supposed to. That's even if you're building a house, if you're renovating a room in your house, or you know, I don't know if like you guys have any relatives, family members, parents, or whatever that are like, oh, we're gonna do a new kitchen or new bathroom. Even that room takes forever, and it always costs more. So think about it. We have a school that's humongous. We have close to 2,000 people in the building.
300,000 square feet.
That's what it is. 300,000 square feet
each floor.
Wow.
All right, I gotta fact check that. But okay. Point is, we know the school is humongous, and you not only that, September comes and you have to put that many people in the building because they could have kept us out of school, but guess what would have happened to our vacations? Gone. We would have been in school in July. No one wanted that, so they said, let's just move forward, get it done, and we'll just do the best that we can. Everyone's disappointed, and I feel like it's been tough because, you know, the kids point fingers at us, the teachers. Teachers have been complaining, pointing the fingers at the administration. It's like, there's been a challenge. Go ahead, Ellie. I'm sorry.
Also, it's like we as humans, like, we don't accept change. So it's like
That
when
is
there's
so
like
true.
when there's like a
True.
change, that's all we do is complain
Freak out,
and like
right. You're right.
and we freak out and we start pointing fingers at people.
Yes.
But like once you get used to what's happening,
It's
like
fine.
you'll just like
Yeah.
you'll find a
Yeah,
way
honestly,
to get
I'm kind
through
of
it.
used to like the construction,
now,
just
like,
having
everyone's
random
complaining-
hallways
Everyone's
closed.
complaining. Now I know how to get my way. Like after these hallways have been closed, like I know where to go. Like I don't have to go through these ways where like I used to get traffic to get to class and I'd be late. But like no, now I can go another way because I know where to go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm in love with the atrium.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
yes,
so
it's so
beautiful.
beautiful.
And I hear like there's
And
supposedly
modern.
like
We'll go to
That's the
benefits yet, because now,
positive.
now everyone's gonna say, let's talk about what we're in love with. No, Di, you had a funny story involving dust and slipping.
Oh, yes.
Slippage.
So basically the story goes, in one of my classes, we were in the trailers in front of the school. And since now they're renovating and they're opening up more classrooms, they wanted to take everyone at the trailers. So like in my second to last day in the trailer, there was absolutely no desks. Like no desks at all. There were chairs, but no desks. So we couldn't write anything. So we did nothing the entire period. And then we switched to another classroom. And in that other
You know
classroom,
which room it was? You don't remember?
331.
Okay.
319, something like that. I don't know. And
She's touching.
oh, I'm sorry.
with the mics.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so off camera, I mean, you guys can't see obviously, but there's like I sit and I watch everyone like fiddle with the mic. Javian, when he was here, was like massaging the foam top of the mic. Di's like playing with the underwire of the mic. Like you guys, if you look at the pictures on our social media at the Kardcast on our major social media platforms, you'll notice we have this equipment here set up in
it's
219,
horrible.
and like everyone just like touches
Touches the
stuff. Like,
mic.
like Javian's like. This is, like I'm like, why are you rubbing? Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Let me not touch the
Don't
mic.
touch anything. And she's like reaching for a phone and a pen. Like, I'll touch this instead. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, when we switched to our other classroom, I wanted to be the first one inside so I can get a good seat, obviously. And as I was running inside, I slipped and fell because it was
This is in
it was so
331.
dusty. 331, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah. It was so dusty that it was slippery. Like I just think that's unbelievable. Like if you're gonna open up a new classroom, I just feel like you should just clean up a little bit of the debris and make it safe for the kids.
yeah.
And I love like all the way in the beginning of like construction, like when they just started shutting off the hallways, like all the way the south, like next to the field, those rooms all the way.
Yeah.
And they had like that big danger sign on it.
Yeah.
That was a little freaky.
It's crazy, you know, like when you just see the equipment around the school, and even last year, you know, when they were working on that back part of the building, I remember Miss Geigel and I were in 326 in Mr.
Yeah.
Carenti's room at the time, and that's when they were doing all the construction below the 200s.
They're doing the second
200s,
floor.
yeah,
Yes.
the 200s.
They started on the
You
second
can hear
floor.
like jackhammers in the middle. Of
You can
Yeah,
feel
well,
it.
yeah, when they were cutting off
Feel
like
it.
the radiators,
Yeah,
when they're cutting the
all that stuff.
radiators.
So yeah, I mean, listen. Wait, I'm gonna have a thought that's gonna be a
first
final
period.
thought. I'm
No,
gonna hold
first
it back.
period. First period, I had Miss La Rosa for architectural drawing,
Right.
and usually because like when architecture, you still have like that poor gram, so you're still like, oh, he's like doing these like little minute things with
Yeah,
the
like
walls,
little-
and you're just like focused, and all of a sudden you hear. I'm like, oh my god, and then I can just lose your whole
Yeah.
train of focus, and she's like, oh my god, I can't deal with this anymore. And I had like
love
these
Miss
mental
Larissa.
breakdowns like 3 times a week.
In our class, people just started tuning it out. Like we'd be taking a test after like the third or fourth day.
Oh
People
my God,
just,
I
it just
remember that
became-
freshman year. We were just so used to it.
Yeah,
by
no,
then.
no
we
one
were
cared.
just
It's like, yeah,
sending
it's
it.
whatever. It's all good.
No, they were doing the windows that
Yes,
time. They were
but
doing the
had
windows.
a lot of noise.
That was terrifying.
That's what it was.
That was
right.
terrible.
Yeah, the windows were
The
terrifying.
Yeah.
And we got so used to it. It was just sometimes like we couldn't hear like the teachers teach, so they just had to pause for a moment
Yeah.
until it was over.
Yeah. Ellie, challenge.
Challenge.
Do you have a challenging story?
No, besides the hallways, like how they're cut off. Like before, like when I started going out for lunch, like I usually do, to get to my next class, which was on the second floor, we only had one staircase, and to
Yeah,
get
they
cut
cut
off,
off the middle ones.
I'd get so
Oh,
late to
yeah,
class,
yeah.
and
And
it was
traffic is
horrible.
crazy
Yes,
Yeah.
and
because of the cutoff.
everyone's always blaming
It
the
is.
freshmen, and everyone's like, all you hear is like these freshmen don't move, but it's
freshmen
all of us.
push
It's,
you.
it's just like we're all like together. We can't move. We're all like jumbled up
Wait,
together.
you gotta say this though. Go ahead, and then I'll jump.
I like to pick
piggyback. I would like to add on.
To add on to what she said, like, aside from like room changes, like I feel bad for the freshmen because like they don't really know their way around the building, so they would completely have to find another route.
But
so it was like just kind of hard.
Them come to me like,
yeah,
can I find this place?
Too.
I
like,
find my room.
But even crazier than that is the fact that in the beginning of the year, old room numbers were now new room numbers. So people would kids would come to me for where's room 30 whatever, and I'm like, it was that the one across the hall, but now that's something else.
Yeah, and
so,
like it was crazy. Like,
but I will say this upside. You talked about the packed. We were talking about the packedness of the halls.
Oh yeah.
I got to give it up to everybody, like students, because the amount of just bodies that cram into small amount. But I'm not talking like props for like being able to cram into a space, but the fact that like no one gets like aggravated. There's been no fights. You know, like I was when that first happened. I'm like, oh my, because I used to be in 307 in the corner. So anyone that knows 307, I was worried because that the hallway was blocked off, and that coming in from the lunch periods, that front hallway would be flooded going up to the new building, down the stairs, or up to
the fourth floor.
The fourth floor, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to break up something because kids are gonna lose their minds. I'm like, especially as it got towards the end of the year, it was hot. Everyone was just like mad.
That was terrible.
Everyone was
but
sweaty.
Nobody did any. Everyone was just like cool. They just all right, I'm in traffic. They just
we just
got
out.
used to it. I feel like we did get used to it.
You just get like at first you're complaining, and now you're just like, all right, it's every day.
It's gonna happen.
It's like I said, it's like a change. At first you're gonna complain, and then you're just gonna like go through it. It's like you're used to it.
But people were polite. You know, it's like. You know, it wasn't like, oh, you stepped on my shoes, bro. Oh,
yeah, like we're like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm in your like. Everyone was super cool about it. So, I don't know. I think that's great. Kearny High
School. And honestly, I'm
15.
I'm really excited for like the removal of the trailers. I hear it's gonna be by like at least December, but like I never understood. Like I've always seen like with the trailers in. So and you put a picture up on the Twitter header, and I was like, no, like this is what it used to look like.
Our Twitter header is a vintage pic, so that the build. Everyone always says this. We say the trailers have been an eyesore. I mean, they've been necessary, but like the building is beautiful.
Beautiful, it is, and everyone's like, it's so like. Nasty, but like if you take it off, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna look really good. What?
The building was actually constructed by one of the architects.
Give us the history.
That worked with Andrew Carnegie to build
the
Central
history lesson.
To build Central Park, not Central Park. What is it called? Grand Central Station. Yeah, that's why when you look at the front of the building, you'd see those really big pillars on the top, and you'd see those quotes.
Yeah.
And those I think are I don't know if they're Andrew Carnegie.
They're not Carnegie quotes.
They're not, but they're really nice quotes.
Yeah.
And it's just the same like really rustic 20s architecture from like really back then. It's like really pretty. Andrew Carnegie, actually another little fun fact, built our library, the Kearny Public Library. And
really?
Yeah. When you go in the front episode, it's like this building was donated
by Andrew Carnegie through his public library project right before he died. Yeah, that's why Andrew Carnegie is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Wow. Props to Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the US 2 teachers teaching about the titans of industry. Can I share some stories of challenges?
Yes,
teaching challenges?
Of course.
So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I had to breathe when I walked in. I was like,
you had to do a little bit more than breathe.
Moving around has been tough. I will say, you talk about creatures of habit. I've been in 307 since I got here to the school. Yeah. Being put in the trailer, it was like, I was shell shocked. I'm like, I've never been in a trailer. I've always had the same room. You're taking me. I was so upset. I got used to it.
But I think you got a good room now. Like they like upgraded you.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about the same size as 307.
Yeah, but like
it's nice. It's modern.
Yeah.
And you know, to speak to
more
what you
private
said, Nina,
for some reason. Like I feel like it is.
That's the only downside. I'm gonna keep it real with you. 307. I like that front hall. I feel like I was like on the scene. I'm like I'm in the mix of the action. Like I was on one end, and my co-teacher is Miss Geigel, and Adamski had the other room on the end. I was like, this is like the lit hallway.
Yikes.
Yeah, it actually was. It was.
I feel like I'm like hidden now. But what's happening? Is your mom calling again? Oh, you bringing up pictures right now? She's bringing up pictures of.
That's
so when they plant grass again in front, and we have some strawberries. It's
so gorgeous.
I can't wait.
You're not gonna be
sorry,
here.
I just had
yeah, you'll be gone. But
I don't care. I
by.
can't wait. I'll pass by in my car and I'll look at it.
But what Mina said about hookups, yeah, I'm in the new room and we have internet ports and all this stuff. No, not those kind of. That's the Valentine's Day episode. Relax. We have electricity. I mean, we have electricity everywhere. We don't have internet ports everywhere. But I'm also coming from one internet port in 307. I went to Radio Shack to buy like a Ethernet splitter one day. It's like, it's nice. And that's like the last phase. Like once everything's in, they can't turn on everything because if they have to move stuff or like once everything's closed up, all the walls are in place and all the rooms are done, that's when they like flip the switch on all the utilities. That's why you guys don't have gas in the science labs yet. Because while everything's kind of exposed, did we talk about AC? We did talk about AC.
No, we did
No,
not.
we did not.
Well, even that,
Yeah.
right? Like how we had the AC on, then that last day was like super hot. It's
And
because all
humid.
the systems are new and they have to like make sure everything's working. So we're still in process. This was we said originally this episode was going to be 1 month after construction. We still are very much under construction still. Teacher challenge. Teaching without all your tools. We talked about the lights. That's been a
Yes.
big thing for me.
And it's also for the students too, because like we're so accustomed to be able to see better, and now it's like, what is
like
this?
we all have programs and like styles that we're used to. So that's been tough. Kind of like, but I will say this. It's kind of good in the way that like you get lazy a little bit because you get so used, not lazy, but you're just so used to. It kind of like fires up this creative juice because you have to like adjust. So it's like, I don't have a smart board.
Yeah.
What else can I do?
Yeah,
I'm gonna hang a bed sheet from the top of the.
Yo, the bed sheet idea. Okay, so everyone.
Wait, what?
306 is Miss Geigel's room, which
No,
is the former.
317.
No, 306. Miss Geigel's room is 306.
Oh, 306.
She used to be in 313. Now
It
she's
used
in
to be 317.
It used
That
to be
used to be
317. It used to be the women's faculty lounge.
Oh, yeah.
But now that's a classroom. So we didn't have a smart board in there, so I went out to Target and bought 2 flat sheets, and I had one up in the trailer too, because there's nothing to project on. So we got that. She had, I think, someone from, I don't know if it was your period.
Yeah, it was my period.
Like a couple of juniors got up there, pinned it up, white sheet, boom. That's our new smart board for now. For the time being. So it pushes this creativity, and that's the thing. Like, you have 2 options. You could either complain and be mad and all this other stuff, or I will say this, and I'm gonna say the emotional moment for the last part. I think it's brought out the best of people in this school. People have complained, people have been frustrated, but generally everyone is like pushing forward in a very difficult situation. But I'm gonna get emotional in the end. I'll save the emo moment for the end.
It's gonna get emotional.
Can we talk about positives? Because I know Mina has to go soon. He's crew practice very soon. But before you go to crew, what are some things we love?
I definitely appreciate that we have air conditioning finally. We're not sweating. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Diana, you can say
Dana?
Dana.
No.
Her name was misspelled on the production sheet. She's
No,
she's
say it now
upset
for her to get.
But your hair, can we talk about your hair? It looks fabulous.
Right?
It looks, yes.
I think like last week I've been seeing her around the
Like,
halls,
the
and
sh-
she
the-
has been like
her swag is
different.
up.
I was like, what?
I'm feeling her short hair. It's like, it's very
Yes,
mature.
it looks really
Okay.
pretty.
Okay.
What are things we love?
Okay.
Mina.
We're not sweating. Nobody smells anymore because it's really hot.
Some people still smell.
Okay, that's true. But it's getting better. It's really nice.
Yeah, less odor.
Less odor. It's getting nice. It's cleaner. It's fresher. Looks more modern. It's kind of more proud to say that you're in Kearny High School because you can feel like.
taking
I'm
all the
not stuck in 1927.
It's definitely 21st
Not
century.
stuck in 1927.
1927.
Die.
Well, Mina kind of took all the positives, but
I'm so sorry.
yeah, I definitely like how the school looks now. It's like way more modern. Like it's not dull and dead like how it was before.
It was never dull and dead.
Yes,
it was.
It
You
was.
think it was?
No,
Really?
yeah.
Each room was a
rocking
different
and
color.
It was dark.
To be
and things were
honest,
peeling
It
apart.
was dark.
That's
It was
what,
dark.
that's
It's not
what
dark
I
anymore.
love about the atrium. It brings more light into the lunchroom. So like I feel like I'm not eating in the
lunchroom-
dark.
No,
I
the old
feel-
lunchroom
It was
like
so
a dungeon.
Like a
yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
Like
No.
Like you felt like now I like sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, lunch is over. I have to go.
Cafeteria? No.
And you still don't get
Yeah.
any service there, but it's
All right,
yeah,
I'm
but
jumping
it's
in.
okay.
I'm jumping the line. Because the cafeteria, that's what I was going to say. Faculty caf and the students caf,
yes, that is
crazy.
so true.
So
Love it.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think they've really improved on that. And I hear the atrium is gonna be a hangout for seniors next year. From teachers,
You know
I
what?
heard.
They want to do all this
Wait,
cool
but hang
stuff
out for what?
after class of
Seniors.
2018
Supposedly,
leaves.
that's what I heard. I think like for study hall or like when they
You
don't
put
have
like
like
couches or like a little.
That's
No,
what
I'm
know.
walking out of this
I like
right
I
now.
like that idea though. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
then
I don't
it's
know
like
like
a
I don't
lounge
know
area.
if this is
You know
a
what it
rumor or
is?
not, but I heard it from certain teachers and I was like, well that's a good idea.
If that's true, that's very like college student
Yes, it's like
center
you're giving them
type of like
yes,
activity.
That's really true. And I feel like you're giving them like
Kearny
more
High
like
School, what is wrong with you?
an experience
You
of what's
mad.
to come.
You mad? Just say you mad.
I am.
She's mad.
I'm mad.
All right, we are at 27 minutes of this. Very good. So before we
You
go,
made it.
I want to have an emotional moment.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have an emotional moment about construction.
Are you gonna cry?
sweetie.
Actually,
I was waiting for that.
We need to record that. We need like a little sound effects machine. So even if he's not here, like we can just press that. Like anytime someone like has a thing, it's like you're doing great, sweetie. I will say this: I have to give major props to the student body. I have to give props to the teachers. Like I said, really everybody is like you talked about. Like for instance, like something like dirtiness, right? You even like our custodial staff. The reason why things maybe haven't gotten to like things weren't gotten to quickly is because these guys are having 100 different commands thrown at them.
That's very true.
Not
Very true.
always from the people that should be given the commands. Like you see, if you're a teacher,
I'm sorry,
you see,
custodians, you appreciate it.
you see a custodian.
Love you,
oh,
Frank.
Yo, Frank, I need
Frank.
this. Yeah. You know, like,
Yes.
shout out to Frank. Like,
And that's all the custodians.
Yeah.
yo, Randy, I need this. Like, you call and meanwhile, they have a list of 10 things they're supposed to be doing. They're going down a hallway of 10 teachers, all who are screaming at them to do something, and they're trying to.
let's
And they're trying, yo,
clap.
clap it up
Let's
enough.
clap.
And they're
That's
trying to
crazy.
help you.
Yes,
You know,
that is so true.
So
And honestly,
I give props to the student body. I give props to the teachers for being inventive because even though we've got our whole programs upended, people are still making it happen. Whether we're doing sheets, we're doing solo cups, we're figuring it out. And I will say this to the administration because at the end of the day, they're getting all the complaints. They're getting all the, people are mad at them. Miss Richardson, Mr. Miasso, Mr. Avidable. And I'll say especially... I'm not going to say not Mr. Miasso, but Mr. Miasso's been in the building, even when he was with guidance. Now he's here. I will say, especially to Mr. Avidable and Miss Richardson being at the top, to come into that position as an administrator, and everyone's going to be like, Watts. Any teachers that hear this going to be like, yo, Watts is like kissing up right now. But this is real. This is real. This is real.
very real.
I'm being
This is
honest.
very
No, and I
To come
completely
into
agree.
a
with
job,
what
to
he's
come
gonna
into a job in kind of the middle of
The chaos.
and to be able to handle it, like Miss Richardson with the teaching staff has been golden with us. Like guys understand anything that we've needed. She's been super supportive. So I gotta say, lesser people would have been like, bruh, I'm out. Like this is too crazy. They've handled it in stride and with a lot of grace. And yes, listen, we all know, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to anyone. We could have been up here and talked a lot of mess about all the things that were negative.
Yeah.
And you know what? People have right to be frustrated. And some of the things that people have been frustrated about, it's legitimate. I'm not going to sit up here and say like, oh, you guys are just, complaining. No, it's real. But the fact we've had people from the kids all the way up to the top that have handled this situation with grace. There's been no fights. Students have still been coming to do work. Teachers have still been coming to do work. Administrators are here and supporting everybody. I gotta just say, hats off to them. Gotta clap it up. Gotta shed a tear. Cause it's hard. So, like we said, we wanted to, with this episode, and we're gonna close it up. And I'm sure you guys, you could piggyback off of anything I'm saying.
that's gonna be a
I want. We could have had an episode where we just trashed and bashed things, but you know what? Everything that could have been negatively said about this project,
I think
it's already been said. It's been kicked into they've been beating it into the dirt. It's done. We know. It's tough. However, we wanted to just come sit, tell our stories, but also highlight the positives that have come out of this. Yeah, we could be critical, we could throw shots, we could come at people's necks and all the things the kids say. You're doing great, sweetie. But no,
You did great.
Thank you. You saying that to me? I did great. Well, no, you got to give a you did great, sweetie, to the whole school right now.
You did great, sweetie.
So that's all we got to say. Any final words before we head out?
To be honest.
To be honest, let's real quick. Mina, hit us with a to be honest.
Of course, to be honest.
I love that.
To be honest, like I can't breathe most of the time in the school, but it's getting better.
To be honest, Mina's like late for Peru.
That's true.
To be honest, Mina's a little extra.
We know this already though.
To be honest, I'm like really psyched for what's gonna come for this.
That is very true.
That's
like-
really true.
To
Like,
be
like-
honest, I can't wait for those trailers to be gone. Oh my god.
Oh, same.
Okay,
yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
also
It's gonna
not to
look
be honest.
amazing. Like after she graduates.
If they take them out on the weekend, I feel like people
I'm
are
the
gonna
only
come
senior
to
here,
watch
so
them
they're
get carted
attacking
away.
me.
Like even if it's not on a school
I
day.
feel like you're criticizing my
Everyone
persona.
just starts posting on Snapchat. They're taking the
Yo,
trailers
yo,
away.
Think about it. If you knew like on a Saturday the trailers are gonna be like carted away.
Oh, yeah, I'm
I might
coming.
come over just
Yeah,
to like I
me
want to
too.
see
I'm
it like,
like, oh
and
my
everyone's just
God.
gonna clap as like they roll down the
Yes,
street.
They're gonna be like the French Revolution. Off with their heads.
Last to be honest, you guys, my Kardcast founding members, I'm very proud of how you handled this episode because we're not going to talk about behind the scenes.
Not today.
What ultimately happened, it turned out great. This episode in the beginning
That's right.
has been a little bit rough, but however,
I think we
like
did pretty good.
like in typical Kearny fashion, we made it through.
Oh yeah.
All right. So guys, clap it up one last time.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing it. No.
2, 3,
great.
Kardcast.
Tune in next week. I'm not gonna talk about what's on next week's show because anything could happen between now and then. I'm not running the risk. You just never know. But thanks for being with us. Tune in next week. Peace.
This is the Kardcast.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Be sure to check us out every week at soundcloud.com/the Kardcast. That's THEKARDCAST. And at the same name on all major social media platforms. Peace.